Okay, I want to tell you about my little guy, my little Woody Woodard. I'm a little camera shy, so you don't get to see me anymore. This is his. Oops, can't see. Well, that works out for me. Let me get some light on the subject. Woodard is a little baby squirrel, or not anymore. He's a full-grown squirrel now that I rescued after his mommy kicked him out of his nest and wouldn't take him back, and I found out why, because Woodard's an asshole. He was an asshole from the time he was born, but it's so lovable. Before his eyes were even open, or even he even had all his fur, I was feeding him with a syringe with the rubber tip. I mean, immediately after I picked him up off the ground, his skin just like almost came up off of him. He was so dehydrated. He, I don't know if his eyes were open yet, and they were just shut because he was almost dead, or, um, but he didn't open his eyes for 2.5 days while I fed him. Here he is. He comes in through the window, he gets his nuts and leaves. He's not camera shy. I'm going to take these back so we'll get a better picture of him. But when I was feeding him with the syringe, if he wasn't getting it fast enough, and he did have teeth, he would bite the rubber nipple and shake it and bump it with his nose and get angry with it. So I know why his mother kicked him out of the nest. If I had a baby that did that, I would throw it out the window. But then again, I'm not really his motherly type. Anyway, I digress. Um, he was such a joy to have around, very destructive. But we managed to keep him alive. He stayed in my shirt the majority of the time because for some reason the heating pad wouldn't stay on because he wasn't heavy enough. But and they can't make their own heat, and they have to be fed every 2 hours, and I couldn't just stay home. So he lived in my shirt for the first couple weeks or maybe a couple months of his life, and then he grew up. Oh my God, he grew up. They grow so fast. Since they only live about 4 years, and their metabolisms are so high, they grow so fast. And now he's all grown up. He still hasn't bit me. He did, shred my hand when we were teaching him how to climb. He didn't take to the ground or the tree at first, but after forcing him on it and off of me, he was just a natural. And then he didn't even want to be in the house anymore, or I should say motorhome. So I think that's mostly because he doesn't like when it drives. But anyway, now there he is. There's my little guy. There's my little guy. Hi, little guy. What you doing, Woodard? I'm taking your picture. All right. We'll see you later. Oh, you're not going? I'm going to get your tail. I'm going to get your tail. Oh, he's gone. Anyway, he was an asshole as a kid, and now he's an adult, and he's really an asshole. Not because, the neighbors think he's an asshole because he's very protective of his nest. It's not that he doesn't like these people. He doesn't like people. He's a squirrel. He likes me only because I feed him. But if you come near the motorhome, he's only attacked the 4 people that tried to walk in it or break in it. 2 people tried to break in. One person was just holding the door open for him, and he figured, well, if he couldn't get in, why was she going to open the door? So he attacked her. But he's just like a real child. He doesn't need me anymore, so he just comes for food. But that's the end of the Woodard story. He'll always come and get nuts. I try to cut him off, but I'm afraid he'll starve. I'm not a squirrel, and I didn't know exactly what they ate, so I wasn't good at teaching him how to forage. Pardon me. Of course, we did have a garden, and he did like beets, so I taught him how to dig up beets. And I honestly think he got high on this mushroom one time, because he has his little nest out in the little patch of woods by the park. And he had this huge mushroom he was chewing on, and when he'd come up on me, because he always climbs up my leg and gets on my shoulder and picks my boogers, that's how he grooms me to show his love. I swear he was loaded. I'm glad it didn't kill him, but he didn't have a mommy to show him what he could and couldn't eat. But they're natural at that. So if you get yourself a baby squirrel, remember they can't make their own heat. They have to be fed every 2 hours, and you have to stimulate their little butthole and their genitals. I'm thinking they're all males because I've only had two, and they've been males. But I could see if a mother had a choice, had to kick one out, I'd kick out a male. They're too demanding. They're too much work. Of course, I miss that now, but that's okay. Bye, folks.